Conference, a good basketball team, but they've been challenging themselves.
And they've had some battles so far. I mean, that is a tough slate to start your season with.
That's Jade Masagayo in the center jump circle, and Colorado controls the tip. Buffaloes in their home silvers have the first possession, and it's Kendall Weta lobs it up and over, missed everything, and now that'll be out off of Weta. No foul called. Southern has possession. Southern has those, I don't know, I'd call that powder blue, right?
Yeah, we'll go powder blue.
Unis today.
We'll go powder blue, absolutely. Well, Kendall, well, she knew that there. She's like, that one, a little too much, a little too excited. Should have had it, should have had it.
You know, Kendall, that's one thing she'll be, paying attention to and continuing to develop her game. She has one disqualification this season, had some last year, almost picked up a foul on the end line after a shot that she missed, but avoided the foul, so the project successful there. Drive, it's Sarah Rose Smith knocking that away, 6 seconds to shoot, and knocked down on a hard bank home. That is Sanaya Reed, a senior from Slidell, Louisiana.
What a nice finish. And good awareness on the court.
Up it goes from Garzone, missed the shot, and the rebound is had offensively by Naimir Dew for the Buffaloes, who's fouled down to the floor.
Just good hustle, takes the hard hit, but again, the rebounds, what you need to, just control those boards. Good effort.
Naimir, transfer from Iowa State, played in the Big 12 previously. Weta in trouble and nobody popped open, so a 5-second violation, turnover by the Buffaloes. You saw the starters pop up on your screen a moment ago for Colorado with Sarah Rose Smith, Kendall Weta, Leora Garzone, Jade Masagayo, and Naimir Dew, the 5 on the floor. And we'll see when Frida gets in. It's still maybe a little bit of an if, but I think she's going to get in today. She was cleared. She practiced Friday for the first time in a full-court practice. The crowd is going to let Frida know they're happy, and you'll know it when she comes on.
There's going to be plenty of love when that happens, for sure. And again, nothing that you want to rush, right? If you're the CU coaching staff here, you're thinking, all right, this is not what we're going to. There's no need to rush this, but also, okay, we got this conference slate comes up real quick this time of year, and nothing can replicate a game rep.
Saw J.R. Payne on the bench, 9th season Buffs head coach. 3 consecutive 20-win seasons, back-to-back Sweet 16s, and a complete roster rebuild. Nice denial of the attempted pass. That was stuffed back by Tiana Lidge, and Southern has the basketball with a 2-point lead. Just about a minute and a half in. Long ball on the way, too strong, and grabbed on a long rebound by Leora Garzone.
And Southern just with some good straight-up defense here.
So the Buffs have had some trouble with a 3-point shot. They've had a couple games where they're good, and they've had a couple where they've been just not good at all. They went 0 for 17 at Boise State, 1 of 10 at Wyoming. They've missed a couple here. A timeout is taken on the sideline to salvage possession with Aaliyah Fontenot, number 2 for Southern, calling that timeout. 1 bucket has been scored in the game. It has gone to player, 7th season. He's gone to 2 NCAA tournaments with Southern, winning 2 SWAC tournament titles. And I want to make sure to say congratulations to Carlos Funches. In May of this year, he went into the Louisiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Coach Funches. Well, we kind of missed the cheer because we were in break when they did it. But the crowd loves it. Frida Foreman, the program's all-time threes leader, one of the key cogs in those 2 Sweet 16 runs. She is on the floor. There's the ball in the hands of Frida Foreman.
Exactly. You heard us a couple of the cheers when she checked in right as we went to break. But always good. You mentioned that 3-point pain point so far this season. Another reason why it's good to see Frida in.
Tabitha Betson, the preseason Big 12 Freshman of the Year in the preseason voting. Betson tries twice, gets the second one to go, and Colorado has a basket. It's 2-2.
Just a nice second solid effort, keeping the ball high. Coach Berry's fundamental right there.
Colorado always, they focus on D, try to be tough on teams, and the architect, the associate head coach, Toriano Towns, he is in full mode right out of the gates. The expectations for this team, regardless of what else happens, regardless of who you're playing, regardless if the Broncos just dump the Falcons, I don't care what else is going on in the world. You play D. That's what you do.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for juice, he's gonna be the source.
Nice spin and score by Naimir Du, who points back to Kendall Wetta to thank her for the dime, but that was beautiful from Du.
Yeah, it's just excellent execution coming off the screen and finding her space and making space. Wonderful finish.
Deep shot here is short. Foreman has the rebound.
I like it. Let's just shorten it to one name.
She was free in the paint was what I was thinking in my head. Frida Foreman, yeah, just combine them. There we go from deep. Buffs would love to see that start to be something they can go to, and they do with Betson.
Absolutely, and again, the threat from your post players anymore in today's game, if you will, of being able to knock down that three, you have to play Betson so honest.
Well, the Buffs have scored 7 in a row. Took them a few minutes to get a basket, but now they're rolling. Wetta taps it away, gets the steal off of Anaya Gordine. Run it up, Wetta as Foreman. She'll take it herself. Missed the shot. Foreman tips. Wetta steps back in to grab it.
I say just a signature Wetta move. Just sticking up, gets her hands on everything, causes the turnover.
Tabitha Betson, the freshman, sets a screen for Wetta, gets it back. Kicks it out. Du, three. Good. Buffs. Nice offense on the last 3 possessions.
Exactly.
Timeout taken by Southern.
Really beautiful ball movement. Betson gives up the shot, looks for the open player, makes the extra pass, and a beautiful knockdown by Du. Enough. Betson just draws that defense wide open. Nails it.
Tabitha Betson has 1 assist. You just saw that. Naimir Du has a 2 and a 3 for 5 points in 5 minutes. And Southern, Coach Funchess not wasting any time, shutting it down here with a timeout. And the Southern huddle, they're trying to get their feet back under them. 10-0 run from CU with 4 of their last 5 shots made. Meanwhile, Southern has missed 6 in a row, so there you go with a 10-2 score.
I know, they had a few of those possessions, just some really solid stops. CU's able to kind of bust through that. So yeah, Coach Funchess said, we're going to stop. We're going to reevaluate here real quickly.
And you're going to get some pressure, Coach. And they'll step back off of it. A little phantom action there. Buffs look like they're about to pounce. Little mind game.
Exactly. Just keeping everyone on their toes.
Dakaya Sanders, a graduate student, had the dribble up top to the corner shot. No good from Tanaya Lawson. Sliding and slipping. Kennedy Sanders now in, replacing Kendall Wetta off the timeout. Sanders, Garzone. There's Johanna Tadair. Sarah Rose Smith, team's leading rebounder at over 7 per game. Lior Garzone has taken as many 3s as 2s this season. Tadair has done the same. She'll drive. Tadair and Garzone both entered with exactly the same number of 2 field goal attempts and 3 field goal attempts into today. A little extra pressure from Tadair. G.R. Payne, backside defense there on the sideline. Standing right behind the ball handler who scores it. Anaya Gordine, that's the leading scorer and rebounder for Southern, showing you why.
Exactly. As I say, your leader on the floor, showing why she is able to finish in a tough situation.
Betson sends it up, tipped, and it goes away to Southern. Out to the Buffaloes, Colorado basketball. Anaya Gordine from Baltimore, Maryland, a senior.
Gordine, just the awareness to be able to pull up, know she's going in some traffic. The easy finish, not so easy at all.
So we still have, what, 3? We have 4 different countries represented in 5 Buffaloes players on the floor right now. The international mix out there with Grace Oliver checking in for the Buffs, trying to get a backside rebound, 24 for the Buffs. Grace Oliver from Norwell, Massachusetts. I consider that like another country, and I mean that in a really good way. I spent a bunch of time up in the Northeast this fall, and you know, when you say Texas is its own country, sometimes people, there's a little jab in there. When I say a different country up in the New England area, I think it's just because
nothing
it's so
but love.
Historically, culturally. Grace Oliver from a portion of our fine land. Tadair Penetrates. There's Oliver in the corner. Good from Grace Oliver for 3.
The Buffs sticking with it there. Saving a few different turnovers there. Hanging on to the ball. Grace Oliver, ready and willing.
Jade Masagayo waits to check in for the Buffs. Kiana Wilson for Southern waiting at the table for the next horn. Little opening and a shot and conversion to Nia Lawson. Good decision to pull up and hit that.
I was saying, Southern doing a great job, right? Of just keeping the pressure, the dribble and drive, keeping CU on their toes.
Oliver spin cycle on the left side, pulled out of it. Up top to Tadare, back to Grace Oliver. One hand pass to the corner to Garzone, drives whistle, and that basket will not count. Foul was against the Buffs. Most international players on a roster in collegiate women's hoops. Kentucky with 10, Buffs and the Zags with 8 each. Colorado 8 of their 14 players. International students making their way to Boulder.
It's giving them some good creative social content, if you haven't digested it yet. Some good accents, pop culture.
Yeah, it makes the team travel more fun. You can experiment with different languages on the buses and planes as you head around to your games. Talking about that 7 of 8 games at home for the Buffs, that's capped off by the Big 12 opener against West Virginia. Masagayo overshoots it. Garzone has it, 14 to shoot. To the Buffs, the end of this 7 of 8 at home, it's going to be with West Virginia to open up the return to Big 12 conference play. That's what you got on the back end of this run. Sanders against the shot clock. Too strong, but the Buffs are going to get another 20 seconds on the clock.
A gift. That was, Buffs were a little lost there. No one was sure what to do with the shot clock winding down. What a gift.
Garzone, too strong. Good box out. Kiana Wilson at 5'7", understands how to create rebound advantage. Corner, open look, and it's good. Nice finish. The long extended wrist extension from Tania Lawson. She felt it off the fingertips.
Yeah, she knew it. She knew it. She had that box out.
She saluted it for a minute.
She put her effort in.
Feeling good.
On the other end.
13-9, Southern back within 4. Foreman. Yeah, Frida's good. And she lets out a little war cry after the 3 goes down. The program's record holder in the 3 category adds another.
Which is just got to feel good coming off an injury, right? It takes always a little bit to get into your rhythm anyways at the beginning of the season, and starting the first 4 games, not playing, working through that injury, working through your cardio, your aerobic, knocking down that first 3, that feels good.
That was her first shot attempt. I told you at practice on Friday, I was like, yeah, her shot looked like it's going to take a little while to dial in. Her first shot, yeah. 4 seconds on the shot clock, almost the same as the game clock. Southern playing for the last shot, and there's 1.3 on the first quarter clock. A foul for CU.
Nice, Rita, just off the screen, finds her sweet spot, knocks it in. Little celebration there. And that's what CU wants to see more and more of from Frida.
Grace Oliver, the foul. Buffs have committed 3 here in the first quarter. 1 foul by Southern. They'll get free throws with 1.3 to go in the first. Count the first one, and Deshante Edwards, a junior from Baltimore, will take 1 more. Now Southern probably feeling okay. They get back within 5. That's probably how the quarter will end. Let's see if Sanders wants to hoist one. She does. So Southern had a 2-0 lead for a while, then a 10-point run for the Buffs, but 16-11 after 1 quarter. Southern within 5. 1 win at Georgia. Congratulations to Danny Sanchez and his crew, and props to Sports Information Communications contact Seth Pringle, who went to Boise State and Tahoe with the Buffs women's team, and then crossed the soccer team at the airport on Wednesday, and just like changing gates. He just came through from Reno, got on the plane in Denver with Danny Sanchez's soccer crew, headed to Georgia, then came back. He's across the court from us now. He is the sports information rep for soccer and for women's basketball, putting in the time. Seth Pringle.
That's the way, no rest for the weary.
Well, you know that life well. You married into the business.
Exactly. The Sports Info, no one works harder than your Sports
Nice
Info
drop.
directors.
That right there is the 7th basket for the Buffaloes. 6 of those have been assisted.
Buffs just doing a really good job of moving the ball, taking their time, right? Waiting for that next pass, and it shows in that stat column.
For Colorado, 6 assists on 7 buckets. Here's the last one.
Again, just a nice pick and roll, good finish, textbook.
And check this out. That was Frida Foreman, 6 assists on 7 baskets, and the 6 assists from 6 different players.
Right. They're all looking for it. And again, just taking your time. And that's, again, at this point in the season, which is what you want to see as a coaching staff, right? Take the time. Let's start working together. Let's find that identity.
(18-11) Colorado, 8 seconds to shoot. 3 is wide. Southern's going to run down the miss from Tanaya Lawson. Yeah, what a juggernaut of a schedule Southern challenged themselves with. All road games. Going to go deep again. That one from Anaya Gordine. Buffs have this rebound. So they played at Oklahoma, at Missouri, at Iowa State, at Nebraska, today at Colorado, and they'll be at Colorado State on Tuesday. They finally then, well, no, they don't even get home after that. They don't get home until December 5.
No, they are going to be road tested and battle ready. I tell you what, it's the kind of schedule that, right, you know it's painful to start, and the hope is, right, that pays off later in your conference season.
Southern gets to go to the Bahamas for a tournament. Man, that's cool. Well, you get to play NC State, LSU, and Washington. So we'll take the Bahamas. We'll also take some more challenge. You know, give credit to Carlos Funches and his coaching staff. They're not shying away. They're picked to finish second in the SWAC this year. Sarah Rose Smith pulls down the rebound. But, man, they go the entire month of November on the road against just program after program. And they're doing it again today with CU.
Again, and just that challenging, you know, game in, game out. You're meeting a challenging team that's going to be pretty brutal. In the Bahamas, you know, that'll take some sting away from the competitive nature of those games. You're going to be in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Either enjoy a win or heal up from the loss a little quicker.
Exactly.
Like
Either way.
3 on the way. That's short from Dakaya Sanders, who's on the SWAC all-hair team this year. Sarah Rose Smith, right side. Love that look from number 4 for Southern, Dakaya Sanders, the graduate student from Birmingham, Alabama.
Exactly, going full team spirit.
Foreman drives and helped up by the player who was underneath her, Tanaya Lawson.
And Buff's doing such a good look, such a good job of looking backdoor on these screen and rolls, the backdoor cut. Nice pass. Great finish. Makes the contact.
Well, there's that one of those check boxes you have to get to when you come back from injury is you got to get hit hard or go down on the floor and kind of see how you feel. And she got all that one. That wasn't
the quick litmus test of, okay, everything's good.
Yeah, that wasn't like the you know, the easy pass 100 level exam there. That was some contact.
Exactly. You can check that box. All right.
Yep, I'm back. Foreman got the second one. Horn here, or a whistle here after that free throw make. Johanna Tadair replaces Frida Foreman.
That's the biggest challenge when you get back into those games is you're just not used to the game pace, right? You can chill on a bike as long as you want. Turns out you can't replace that game cadence.
Yeah, at practices, Frida would be working on her ball handling skills on the side and, you know, doing what she can, but there's only so much you can do.
Precisely.
Bike. She was doing the basketball in one hand, tennis ball in the other, dribbling drills. How about a 3 from Tabitha Betson, the freshman Betson, her second 3 of the game.
I was saying, knocking it down with confidence. Love this from Betson.
Buffs came into today with a they weren't very happy with the 22.4% shooting effort from 3 across their first 4 games, shooting 22.4%. Today they're at 45.5%, double what they've been doing this season so far. Southern gets to the floor, little tie up here. No arrow came. The ball trickled out, last touch by Colorado. Tabitha Betson, the preseason Big 12 Freshman of the Year, checking in.
And pretty deep at that. Betson, though, okay. I've knocked down 2. If you want to guard me, here's where I'll be.
She is from Melbourne, Australia. They call her Tabs. I'm not cool enough yet to use that. I'll say Tabitha, but for those who are on the inside, they know. Tadair picked it up, looked off Sanders, got it to Betson. Sanders runs by. Takes the ball, and Betson traveled as she started her move toward the basket. Taps her chest, says, yeah, it's my bad.
Yeah, felt that. She thought about it. Thought about popping that 3 again.
How about that? You come from Australia. She was at DME Academy. She's a freshman, and she gets selected as the preseason Freshman of the Year in a new conference or a return to conference for the Buffaloes. Pretty interesting psychology for a young player coming, overseas, join a team.
Absolutely.
Now on the conferences, they're eyeing me already.
As I say, getting early validation of, okay, they recognize what I'm bringing to the table.
And this is the Big 12. I mean, it's not like you're, preseason Freshman of the Year in some, like, oh yeah, there's a couple freshmen here. I mean, there's some people here.
Pretty tried and true talent in the Big 12. Pretty decent historical legacy, especially among your post players and dynamic players in the Big 12.
My thanks to assistant coach Jeremy Bonin with the Southern Jaguars. Talked to him before the game. He's helped me out with some roster stuff, and he pointed out, oh, by the way, you need to add a number 24 to your roster. She just checked in, Demaya Porter. This would have been one of those moments if I had the original roster that was here, and no fault, I don't know nobody's fault really of that name not being on there.
Right.
But we would have been sitting here going, we're going to call her Cammie Snyder the rest of the
Right, exactly. There'd be a little bit of scrambling, that's for sure.
Right, give me a name. 22-13, a mid-air catch and pass from Tadair gets the crowd fired up. Smith turns, missed the shot. Johanna Tadair going for the elevated pivot pass.
It's a really sharp press break, and again, Johanna's just her awareness. Sarah Smith was available, making the quick pass.
Good pressure from Tadair. Jaguars managed to escape that. Carlos Funches, Jeremy Bonin, Patrice Carter here with Southern today. TJ Pugh not on the trip. That's the coaching staff. Shot up with 3 seconds to shoot on the Jaguars shot clock. It's Dakaya Sanders.
And good job on Sanders recognizing Betson switched on her. She had a little bit of advantage there.
Good look to the corner from Betson. Short on the shot is due.
Like it, Southern definitely pushing pace a little bit.
Frida Foreman gets to come back and play more basketball on the next stop. She's at the table waiting to get in. Good find in the corner, trapped on the baseline, can't hit the shot. Sanaya Reed with the shot try. And there's a whistle and a foul and a timeout on the floor. Colorado up by 7. That you're not, Peggy.
No. Have you been to the majority of those 50 seasons? No. Peggy has. Peggy absolutely has.
J.R. Payne and Toriano Towns do a great job with the family feel of this program. Players talk about it all the time, and JR's done a great job of embracing the history of 50 years of Colorado women's basketball. The Seal Berry celebration, turnover on a shuffle of the feet before the dribble. And I know Seal Berry talked to me about that. The only other home game this season for the Buffs, when Coach Berry was honored with the banner that now hangs. She really multiple times talked to me about how much she appreciates the way that JR and her coaching staff really have reached back into the history of this program. There's some history of this program. The best 3 converter ever for the Buffs does it again, Frida.
I'll tell you what, let's just start 2 for 2. Let's start there, coming back from injury. Go,
she missed a free throw, so she can't miss from deep. She can miss from
Exactly. But the harder.
Now she's got a steal near midcourt. Does she dunk? No foul. Frida had it stripped away defensively. Nice stop by Aaliyah Fontenot. The Buffs are going to have it. Foreman gets the steal.
Frida Foreman, I'll tell you what, shot 42% from the arc last year, 12.5 points per game. Knocking it down today.
Coaching staff talking the other day about you got to deliver a good pass and shooting position, and that was right where it needed to be. Just hit her right in the setup spot, let Frida go to shooting it. Pass is high and tipped out. Buffs. Yeah, we got a foul along with that.
That pass not as sharp. A little something extra on that one.
25-15, CU in the lead. Southern's Dakaya Sanders brings it up. CU has committed 4 team fouls, Southern just 1. Garzone waiting to check in for the Buffs. Drive into 2 defenders, and it's out off of Colorado. Shot missed by Deshante Edwards, who is in some distress.
Yeah, and that was all Johanna coming back hard with that help side defense, really disruptive on that drive. Kudos to that defensive effort.
Lior Garzone was joined by Kendall Weta at the score table. They check in, replacing Johanna Tadair and Kennedy Sanders. Good to get Kennedy Sanders as much time as possible. She'll be in that rotation behind Weta with ball handling duties. And after the long run by Jalen Sherrod here for the Buffs, you know, getting your extra time was hard to come by. You're going to need Kennedy to be seasoned up and ready to roll when this thing gets heated up.
Absolutely, and not to mention just the mentorship that Jalen Sherrod and the model behavior of this is what it means to run this squad is immeasurable. But now she gets to put it all to use.
Jade Masagayo had that block, thunderous block, and then the shot clock was nearly out. Sarah Rose Smith has been good from that distance. She missed this 3 try. Sarah Rose, one of the better 3 shooters out of the gates this season, hitting 4 of 9. Now the Buffs are going to do it again. 3 of their 4 games before today, 15+ turnovers forced by the Colorado defense. I think they're on pace again. They're at 7 turnovers now committed by the Jaguars.
And again, Jade, just with her length and her reach, being able to capitalize.
Sarah Rose Smith, shot attempt fouled, free throws coming up. Check in for Southern is Tanaya Lawson. Talking about the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and Southern picked to finish 2nd this year in the SWAC. Top 5 teams in that poll: Grambling State, Southern, Alabama A&M, Jackson State, Florida A&M. Notable in there, Jackson State, because we just saw images with Peggy Copham of a coach who came from the SWAC.
We've got some connection.
To the Pac-12.
Got some connection there. Absolutely.
Jackson State, part of that SWAC mix. They have 12 teams in their conference. Interesting, they're picked to finish 2nd in their conference, but on the Offensive Defensive Player of the Year preseason polling, the all-SWAC 1st and 2nd team polling, no Southern players individually recognized, but as a team,
right,
picked to finish 2nd in their conference. And again, 2 tournament trips in 7 years under Carlos Funches, who's now in the Louisiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Got a chance to make a 3rd trip in his 8 years this season.
And just a validation of what you're able to do with a pretty veteran squad and what you've been able to accomplish, not on the individual level, but again, as a team.
Jade Masagayo looking for Naimir Du, who had her back turned to Masagayo. Turnover by the Buffs.
I feel like she even knew that as it was leaving her hand. She's not looking.
Yeah, she tried to
right, use the force.
That bag in. That's 6 turnovers for Colorado. Each team at 6 now. That was the 6 by Southern a moment ago. Tie up, the arrow is going to Colorado. I think we've got some extra verbals going on after the whistle was blown. Arrow does go to CU. Southern a little slow to react to that. And now they'll drop back on defense. They were in denial. Not defense, psychological denial.
Right, exactly.
Losing the basketball.
Some extracurriculars. Kendall took a moment to chat with the ref a little bit. Just reset everything.
Weta to Masagayo, driving, spinning. Good move by Jade out of Fossil Ridge High School in Fort Worth, Texas. I asked her if she had aspired to play in the Big 12, being from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, kind of the heart of
Absolutely.
Big 12 country. And she said, you know, not really. She just wanted to play at a good high-level program in a big conference. There's a nice spin and shot from Tiana Lidge for Southern. So Jade went off to Missouri State, a couple years there. Enjoyed it, but needed a change. Kendall Weta runs the lane. Another assisted basket. Weta scores.
Again, just good awareness by Kendall's. Had a couple of those easy shots not fall. Attacks it again in the right place at the right time.
All right, so 9 assists, 10 baskets. The only unassisted basket was the first one of the day for Colorado when Betson missed her shot, got her own rebound, and then scored. Couldn't we count that like an assist?
Exactly, it should be.
And then they'd be 10 for 10. Here's Kendall Wetta doing what she does, and she finishes in front of the halftime horn. Another takeaway for Kendall Wetta and a bucket, and CU largest lead at 14.
And you mentioned just doing what she does best, just disruptive enough.
Kendall wants to shoot. She wants to get the half-court try and put it toward the rim.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to her every time.
Well, 31-17. How do you feel about that first half?
Really good ball movement by the Buffs. Again, the patience, the execution, a few sloppy turnovers, but for the most part, doing such a good job on offense, really taking their time, trying to formulate, trying to create a lot of that synergy that you don't get during practice. This is the time to do it.
7 turnovers committed by Southern. That's right on pace for what the Buffs have been forcing out of other teams. And Colorado with the 9 assists on 11 buckets. Good team basketball in the first. Grow this 14-point advantage. We go to second half action with Southern in possession of the basketball.
And again, you kind of mentioned what Southern's schedule has looked like so far this season, so don't expect them to completely just shy away from anything. They've been through it already this season.
Jaden Masagayo, good defense on the first shot try from Southern. Masagayo has the ball, gives it to Dew, drives, lost it on the way up, and it'll stay with CU. Masagayo, Dew, Wetta, Smith, and Garzone, the 5 starting the second half for J.R. Payne. Wetta, pass left side low. Nice save by Smith, back to the shooter, Masagayo. 5 to shoot, Garzone. Got that one, Leor Garzone.
To say, a beautifully executed inbounds play for Jade there. A little disrupted, and Buffs, again, the patience to make it work.
Mentioned Coach J.R. Payne and Toriano Towns. Taylor Carr, Bianca Smith, the listed coaches. Shelly Sheets putting in big time with the program now. Good deep ball there for Southern from Anaya Gordine. Just the second 3 make of the day on 14 tries for Southern. Good pass. That's why the assists are piling up. Looks like that.
That'll work every time. And again, just the awareness off the ball, making the right cuts, looking for the back doors. The good pass on the other side.
Thread the seam there, and Colorado gets into the passing lane. 8 turnovers for Southern. Wetta, nice give back to Sarah Rose Smith. Good movement by Smith and a good look by Wetta.
And good finish. Makes a little bit of contact. Uses the left hand. Again, and what CU sets up, right, with their shooting is Southern is forced to play them straight up. CU able to exploit that.
As we saw in the first half, Southern not afraid to call the timeout. Coach Funches wants to talk it over. A little educational moment for Southern. Look at right now, Tabitha Betson, the freshman, leading with 8 points, hitting 3 of her 5 shots. Frida Foreman being back in this lineup, Cammie, really changes everything. So what they learned in their first 4 games, they're now going to, in a great way, relearn some things and have a lot. You know, it's not just one person equals kind of one level of change. Frida makes a lot of levels of change for this team.
Absolutely, and again, just the veteran presence, like you said, a key component of those 2 Sweet 16 appearances. Kind of the institutional knowledge she has of this team, how to win, and just that calm, steady presence on the floor. Not to mention that shooting threat and just the leadership that she brings in a game.
We mentioned Anaya Gordine is the team's leading scorer entering today, and she is backing that up. Just hit that 3. Good looking shot from Gordine. She has 10 points of the team's 23. Does Gordine with another 3 knocked down. Whistle and a Buffs foul. Garzone trying to laugh that one off.
a little bit of a game of, okay, who's moving first? Guess you're not.
Weta.
Ooh.
And Foreman, yeah, timeout was called. Frida trying to tie it up, and that'll be another timeout taken by Southern. For CU, Tabitha Betson having a nice day. Fun to watch Tabitha work today against Southern.
I tell you what, she has been a bit of a force today, hasn't she? Shooting the long shot 2 of 3 as from three-point land, 3 to 5 from the field. She's getting it done.
That 50th year of CU women's basketball montage video we saw at halftime just reminded me what a great job Buff Vision does. Here's Gordine again. She's been hitting threes, missed that one. The folks at Buff Vision, all the great contributors and the lead roles handled there. Man, that was a sweet piece. And what I want to ask you, one of those commercials we just saw during break, is Colorado football going to get their second ever Heisman Trophy winner this year?
Well,
yes or no?
I'm going to say yes. I think I have to.
I know you're steeped. I know you're steeped in CU. You know, athletics.
It's a
family business, and
I'm required to say that.
Pretty cool this season. Rashawn Salam, the only Heisman winner at CU back in 1994. Here's Frida Foreman's effort and the foul. Foreman back to the line. Frida, a great free throw shooter. She missed one earlier, so I imagine knowing Frida, she's got a great attitude about it, but she's hard on herself, but not in that kind of drag you down sort of way. She wants these free throws right here.
Absolutely.
90%
from the line last season. Yes, she's one of those that expects perfection from the line.
Yeah, I don't think she's used to earlier in this game when she shot the free throw and missed it. She's just, that's a weird look to her. Like,
right. Wait a second. That's where she was rusty, right? Her free throw line.
Moving well on that defensive retreat there, too. She was using her feet well. There's a Johanna Tadair jump into the bounce pass. Didn't quite get it pulled away. Southern reverses sides to the right. Corner now. There's Ayanna Johnson. Haven't seen much of Ayanna today. She's in now. This is her first appearance of the day. Pulls a rebound. Does AJ, another talented young player added to this roster. She is a sophomore, played at Minnesota, the University of. And before she can get the pass, she was fouled, Ms. Johnson, the state of Wisconsin high school discus state record holder.
Bit of an athlete,
yeah,
for sure.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Had a really solid post up there. Drawing the foul. Give her teammates a very clear target. I am here and ready.
Second foul for Southern, and that is the Buffs' second 5-second call. So I guess there'll be something to talk about on that front through film and practice.
I was gonna say, there's 2 points of emphasis there, right there. This is what we can't do. Later this month when Louisville comes to town, this is what we can't do in Big 12 play. We don't give the ball up on a 5-second call.
Louisville ranked number 18 in the country right now. Top 20 team at the end of the month coming to Boulder. For the Buffs, they play today with Southern, and then it's a quick turnaround. They play in 2 days from now right here against Utah State. That's pretty interesting to have game and then 1 day in between and game at this time of year. A lot of times teams will do things like that to kind of, get the feel for what postseason might feel like. Quick turn coming for the Buffs with Utah State coming to town. Tadair runs it and finishes.
And again, Tadair just has such good awareness. Ran that lane on the fast break, caused the turnover, created plenty of space, has the nice finish.
Look at that turnover and transition. Tadair getting a hand to it. Sanders, nice job turning that and finishing.
Yeah, just again, creating those lanes, right? Wide enough, making sure the defense has to make some decisions.
Great point. J.R. Payne was coaching that at practice recently, just explaining, we need a little more separation. We need more space created on that run out. A couple of the younger players, I think, were tightening those lanes on the transition. Push it out, push it out.
You make that far too easy on the defense.
I know I'm obsessing, so I'm confessing that I'm obsessing, okay? But
You're owning it.
This is so cool. 13 assists on 15 made buckets. Still, the Buffs have that going where they've only had 2 baskets scored, and it was the first one of the game and the last one of the first half. I'm obsessing about it. I just kind of hope it keeps going. 13 assists on 15 buckets today.
No, it's worthy of praise, and that is Coach Payne will no doubt look at this box score and be extremely pleased at how well CU is playing team basketball at this point in the season. And again, adding a piece to the puzzle with Frida.
Johnson stays with it and is fouled. Her reward for the effort will be free throws.
Yeah, just stayed in it, just stayed in with the hustle and the effort.
I talked to Jade Masagayo and Kendall Weta at practice on Friday, and I told Kendall, and so this assist talk, it gives me a chance to say this, that the game against Northern Colorado here, Seal Berry, you were unavailable, so we had to bring in Seal Berry.
Had to bring in the Hall of Famer.
Fine. But
valid.
I told Kendall, I said, you know, we were doing other stuff and got tied up in it. Kendall had a career high 10 assists in that game. That's a phenomenal performance. I don't care who you're playing against. And so I told Kendall, hey, congratulations on that. And sorry, we should have amplified that more in that broadcast. Double-digit assists and a career high. That's worthy of early season praise.
Absolutely. And again, what she's done for CU, I'd say her defense, right? Her effort and her lockdown defense gets a lot of accolades, but she has such good vision on the court.
There's Kendall next to Shelly Sheets over on the Buffaloes bench, talking it up with Leor Garzone. And I thought on cue they're heading to the score table. Right. They're not. They're just standing up to welcome back Frida Foreman.
Just being supportive.
So how about today at the free throw line is Jocelyn Tate. Jocelyn fouled, converts the first free throw. Jocelyn, a freshman from Little Rock, Arkansas. By the way, Southern, located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, about, I think I was told, 8 minutes from the campus of LSU down there in alligator country and gumbo country. Well, you don't say alligator, right? Gator.
Gator country, alligator, yeah, it doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
I like the full formal alligator.
Feeling formal on this Sunday.
Grace Oliver, 24 for the Buffs. Waits to inbound. Kennedy Sanders, Johanna Tadair in. Buffs have Ayanna Johnson, and a new face on the floor for the Buffs is Erin Powell from England. Powell, Johnson will score it. There's an assist and a free throw. I love it.
As I was saying, that really was set up, right? Sanders finds Johanna. And the beautiful pass in, good seal, good left-hand finish.
I'm watching way too hard for assists now. Great finish, as you said, by Ayanna Johnson. 5 fouls committed by Southern. Nice 2+1 by Johnson.
Make the bonus count.
That was Tate's foul. Jocelyn Tate picked it up, her second. Buffs have hit 5 of their last 6 shots. There was a scenario in that game, the Tahoe tip-off up at Lake Tahoe, and Oliver takes a steal, getting in front of that pass. There's a point in that game with Nevada where the Buffs had 5 freshmen on the floor. That was kind of a cool moment. Sanders waters part. Sanders bounced that out, missed the shot.
And I telling her there, she had the seal. Go, you take this. This is yours.
Up and in, count the basket for Sky Castro, a senior from Queens, New York. 15 for Southern.
And really good patience.
46-28, corner, Powell. Johnson. I saw you saying hello. Does Erin have family in the house today? Is that, no? Okay. Well, who's got the Powell jersey on over here?
Oh, I didn't even see the Powell jersey. We have some, maybe we have some.
There's a number 8.
Oh, I like it. No, I didn't see the
Powell jersey.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Hampshire, England is the Buffs number 8. In comes Betson, out goes Johnson. Good couple minutes for Ayanna Johnson. Naimir Dew going to check back in for the Buffs. And Southern checks in 24, Demaya Porter. So I'm looking at these minutes and just the way now it is, where this game's at right now and the way the Buffs are approaching it, it's probably going to stay this way. You've got, what, Foreman has 18 minutes. That's a team high. Good for her in her return, by the way. But the distribution of minutes is pretty broad and is probably going to continue to get that way. What is it? 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I think we've seen, what? We've seen 12 players in this game.
Yeah,
12
he is
buffs
now
have been
because we
in.
had Aaron. Yeah, absolutely.
We might run the whole group. Emphatic shot block.
Yep, that's decisive.
Coming back. Southern trying to pick up the pace and trying to take it at the Buffs. Deshante Edwards not backing down.
crowd not appreciating the lack of a charge call there. Nice help side.
Yep, good read. That's that.
Yeah,
I mentioned before,
absolutely.
5'8". It's Tanaya Lawson. She just timed it perfectly. You don't have to be, it helps to be tall to be a shot blocker, but reads and angles help.
Yeah, it turns out hustle and effort go a long way too when you're reading that drive.
Second free throw is solid. 46-31 for Deshante Edwards. 4 points in the game. Each team with 10 turnovers committed. Here's a drive and a shot miss. Interior by Aaron Powell. Southern, I don't know if the players just kind of picked it up or if the coaches called for it and said, hey, let's go, just take up the intensity. I don't care what you do, just play really hard for a couple minutes, because you see a little higher intensity right now from the Jaguars. Demaya Porter scores.
And again, really good patience there, just working the ball around. Again, adding some of that pressure on defense, but then waiting for a good shot. Chipping away at it.
Got stuck a little bit, the handoff to Powell from Oliver. Two of them working on the left side, 7 seconds to shoot. Kendall Wetta will resolve this for us with 4, 3, sends it to Betson, 3 on the way. And gonna let that bounce out. Nakia Sanders for Southern steps away from it, lets it go out. Jaguars got to their 33rd point on a nice interior finish from Demaya Porter.
Again, draws Betson out from post defense. Help side doesn't quite rotate quick enough. A nice little finish. Again, good patience by Southern.
4 assists on the day for the Jaguars from 4 different players. Got 2 mentalities here for Southern. Here's a 3 on the way. They got it. I was going to say one mentality is, we're not done yet. And they're within 10 right now. Foreman looks forward to Smith, who runs and scores.
You saw the Southern coaching staff see that as it was happening, screaming for the defense to get back quickly. CU again, that is bread and butter in terms of being able to exploit that fast break.
Yeah, you're right. Demonstrative on the Southern bench over there. Come on, we can't let them run out like that. Hit the deep shot. Gonna go deep again. High arcing shot. Smith takes the air ball. Flat-footed below the rim. Sarah Rose gives it to Frida Foreman. Betson drops it off for Frida. Sarah Rose Smith is on the floor, fouled. Run out from Colorado after that 3. Don't take a minute to celebrate.
Yeah, exactly. You want to run? CU will happily run with you. That is a lane they are happy to run hard into. We can get some fast break points.
Buffs with 12 points on fast breaks, 3 for Southern. Dozen points on the run for Colorado. Smith short on the first free throw. CU plus 12 in rebounding. Came into today through their first 4 games, out rebounding their opponents by 10 per game. Dozen better today. Second free throw good for Sarah Rose Smith. Back to 13 points with 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Good shot deflection by Sarah Rose Smith. Nice follow by Tiana Lidge, aware, grabs that loose ball and scores.
And Southern just kind of hanging around, right? Through a little bit of grit, just up in the intensity of just enough.
Again, the Jaguars getting some offense here in the third quarter.
Yeah,
Resourceful.
Exactly. In the right place at the right time. Getting the high efficiency buckets.
Weta trying to work the baseline, slings it out. 11th turnover for Colorado. Will give Southern the ball. Try to get it back to single digits here. So I was thinking about the two psychologies for Southern. One was, we've got our stuff we need to work on. We've got this we're on the road the entire month of November. We're playing all these Power 4 teams. The other psychology was, let's see if we can get a couple buckets before the end of the third and make this a game in the fourth. They're on the brink of getting it to single digits. A travel, though, the feet shuffling on an attempt to make a move by Aaliyah Fontenot.
Absolutely. Like, just raise it enough. Like, let's just get in the game, get back in the game, make a stop, get a bucket. Again, and you see them, they're being patient enough to find those high percentage shots. They're not starting to throw up threes. They're looking for those easy layups.
The Southern, Sanders, among others, enjoyed to the Buffs. 49-24, double up +1 on the scoreboard over Utah, controlling their own destiny toward some destiny this year. That was yesterday. Men's hoops today, women's hoops today. Thanked our crew a few times, but keep heaping them the praise.
Yes, absolutely.
Lots happening.
All the behind-the-scenes crew.
And a busy week coming up, too.
That's right, that's right.
A couple basketballs, a couple volleyballs. 49-38, Southern trying to get into single digits on the deficit. Foreman tipped it out of bounds. It'll stay with Southern 20 seconds to shoot as we enter into the fourth quarter. For Southern, talking about all those Power 4 conference games, that's all they've played to date, including today. Sagayo not going to let that pass get inside. Deep ball. Southern's in the house. Count it for Sanaya Reed, and it's an 8-point game.
I'm saying Reed had all day to kind of dial that in. Just a little bit of a lackluster closeout by Sarah Rose Smith, and she drains it.
Whistle here as Foreman dribbles and draws a foul from Deshante Edwards. Southern at 41 points after adding these three.
Yeah, again, Reed squared up, ready to roll. Southern just showing, again, a lot of discipline, a lot of patience.
Season opener, they lost by 32 at Oklahoma, then lost by 15 at Missouri. Lost by 28 at Iowa State. Smith's long ball, no good. And the rebound then thrown away. Offensive board, but a turnover by Colorado. Another chance for Southern to carve away. They played at Nebraska, lost that one by 26. Now they play 2 games in the Centennial State. And it'll be a travel. Nice closeout by Jaden Masagayo, shutting down the shot thought of Sanaya Reed.
Again, Reed knew, oh, okay, now I'm stuck and I've got nowhere to go.
Tried to dribble that.
Yep, too little, too late.
So at CU today, at Colorado State in Fort Collins on Tuesday. The Buffs also playing a Sunday, Tuesday cycle here in Boulder. Interesting with that being Utah State. Frida looking for Masagayo. It trickles out of bounds, stays with CU. Colorado playing heavy Mountain West, which makes sense geographically to get area games, but Wyoming, Boise State, Nevada, Utah State coming up for Mountain West teams on the Buffs schedule. 10 seconds for the Buffs to shoot. Foreman takes it. What do you make of this right here? 8 points. I mean, what are the Buffs thinking here, trying to fend off Southern, and what's Southern thinking?
As I was saying, Buffs just kind of a little sloppier, right? As Southern kind of amps up this defense, they're showing a little bit more aggressiveness. CU throwing off just enough.
Gonna roll it down. Yep. Shot is gonna bounce home for Tiana Lidge.
And Lidge, just again, a smart mismatch. Frida Foreman ends up on post defense there. Southern just has the maturity, awareness to recognize, all right, let's take our time. Again, find the high percentage shot.
The Buffs trailed 2-0 to start this game and then ran 10 consecutive points. This is the closest the Jags have been since about 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yep, just a nice pick and roll. And again, your help side D is there, but when you've got one of your bigs able to elevate, unfortunately that guard rotation can't do a whole lot. Just a nice finish.
Buffs need a basket here. 10 seconds to shoot for Colorado. Up by 6 on Southern of the SWAC. Weta looks out to Garzone. Straight on look. Too strong. Foreman over the top tips that alive. Nice play by Frida on the offensive glass.
Just enough hustle to keep that alive. And Buffs get a bit of a break, and smartly Kendall slows it down. Let's set this up.
Betson. Weta's got a seam on the left side off the bottom of the rim. Weta got herself a little too deep on that. Tried to reach back to release it. Hit iron.
Again, Southern's defense just disrupting what they're looking for at the top of the key with the pick and the roll. Weta had to get a little creative there.
Bad pass, bad ball control by Southern. Tadair runs, pass over the top, another assist. This one from Frida Foreman to Johanna Tadair.
And again, one of those factors that Frida brings to the floor, right? Just her passing ability to hit her players perfectly in stride on the fast break. Easy finish for Johanna.
Yeah, that was a good point. That was shades of the idea of throwing your receiver open, just put it in a spot where they can run to open area. Southern hustles to keep that alive, but they got 5 to shoot. Gonna go deep, and ooh, that was in and out.
Oh.
Shot looked good from Aaliyah Fontenot and just came back up. That would have got him within, what, 5? Instead, it's that turn. Lior Garzone for 3, and instead of 5, it's 11.
And CU, you had a couple options out there for the 3-point knockdown.
Is that the final deflator for Southern? They had their shot. So there reaches and deflects that ball, flies out of bounds into the palms, stays with Southern.
And again, Frida knows Johanna's running right over the defense. Perfect lay-in, and again, you've got Frida out there. You got Garzone setting up, ready to make it happen.
That no-look assist, that's worth 2 assists, right?
Yeah, that's double. It's double this year.
Chart thing I'm excited about.
Exactly.
The
It's double this year.
update, by the way, is 19 field goals converted for Colorado, 17 assists. And again, I think it's interesting, the first basket of the game and the last basket of the first half for Colorado were the only 2 unassisted. One was an offensive rebound putback, one was a steal at midcourt and run away by Weta. Weta, that's going to be a whistle on the floor. Kendall fouled before she got into her drive. 4:57 left in the fourth quarter. Colorado doing enough here to hold off Southern, who's reeling them in, but the Buffs push back out to a plus 11. So Caden Starboard, 88-66, the final count. That's Elijah Malone. He had 16 points and 7 rebounds. The Buffs got a game-high 20 points from Andre Yakimovsky. Also double figures, Javon Ruffin with 15. Trevor Baskin from Arvada, Pomona High School. Baskin gets his first start as a Buff after transferring from Colorado Mesa. It goes 13 points and 7 boards, 4 Buffs and double figures. Tad Boyle's squad now 4-0 on the season. They have won 20 of their last 21 at home. That's crazy. Tabitha Betson, nice inbound play, scores.
I guess say one of those textbook inbounds play, and Benson makes it happen, coming hard off that screen.
First basket of the second half for Betson. She had 8 in the first half. She's the first Buff into double figures with 10. Tadair runs through it. Johanna Tadair stealing a basket.
Put a little distance. CU coming out with a little bit of fire here out of that break.
Yeah, 15-point lead. They do get the sense that the challenge was issued in that timeout. Foreman taps it, volleyball style to Garzone.
As I say, again, just good awareness right here. I don't need to make contact. I can disrupt this way.
That was like a dig in volleyball. Got it over to her teammate. 58-43, approaching 4 minutes left in the game. Tadair. That one didn't look right off her hand.
Right.
Great three-point shooter, and I think Johanna probably felt that immediately. Just didn't get enough underneath that. Quick load up and go. Pass flying through with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Substitution for Southern is Aaliyah Fontenot. Johanna Tadair spark plug.
Exactly. Getting the steal, following through with it. Again, just the awareness to read that pass, proactively punch it out, give herself enough room to run, convert it on the other end.
And on the back of that replay we just showed you, the coolness of Ayanna Johnson was on display. She just stood up. The sophomore Johnson, #1 for the Buffs, just stood up calmly, gave it 2 hands, kind of threw 2 hands in the air like, yes.
Exactly.
We are legit.
This is where we're at.
Garzone, right side, spins. Nice move by Leora Garzone to open up a shot.
Again, taking their
Still
time.
throwing down. See, Ayanna just doing a little more.
Right? Exactly. She's ready to celebrate.
So whistle and a foul by the Buffs, defending out far from the basket. I think that was Wetta's foul first.
Just good recognition. Okay, got another baseline, but I definitely have a mismatch. Good patience.
Yeah, just get that up on the rim at that point. Garzone transferring from Oklahoma State, so she's played in the Big 12, where the Buffs will now roam. Garzone last season averaged 9 points a game, 4.2 rebounds, started all 30 games for the Cowgirls at Oklahoma State last year. That was the highest 3 I've ever seen in this building. That missed. The arc on that 3 was, gotta get that over the defense. But
Got a little altitude.
Yeah, the thinner air might have helped that one out.
I think that has to be the hardest thing about scouting in conference now with the transfer portal. There is such familiarity, but there's such transition that there is very little consistency in terms of culture or dynamic of team play.
Yeah. Much better from Johanna Tadair. She nailed that one.
Felt much better. She knew that. She knew she had that one.
Johanna up to 9 points in the game. She had a 14-point output at Nevada. Retta picks up the loose ball. Buffs now kind of putting it on Southern here. Dishes it up. Another 2 for Johanna Tadair, assisted by Kendall Wetta. Timeout taken by CU. Southern's out of timeouts. This will be CU on a short timeout. How about that? Wetta and Tadair having some fun on the run.
And it's worth noting, we know what Tadair can do. We know her potential. CU with 37 points off the bench. Average about 23. You know they've got a deep roster, so it's not surprising at all, but just goes to show their potential and what they can do.
So they're at 37 now.
37 points.
That's a new season high. They had 34 off the bench against Nevada in their most recent game up at Tahoe. Now they go for 37 off the bench. Johanna Tadair had 14 points against Nevada, second game in double figures this year for the Buffs, and the most she's scored since 2023 when she was with Washington State. Been missing all of last year due to injury. Johanna Tadair back at it again today. She's got 11 points back in double figures, now leading the team with those 11. 3 hoist, missed, offensive board for Southern. And to Jocelyn Tate, now Tate in the corner. And teammate went the other direction, out of bounds, it's tossed. That is 18 turnovers now committed by Southern, so the CU, statistically speaking, the CU defensive pressure and the turnover production, another good one here, 18 caused.
And again, Southern just pressing a little bit as well. Not laying down by any means, but you start to get a little desperate.
Sanders from deep. Kennedy missed the shot. Interesting here, it's a 22-point margin. You look at the scores that they've had against all these Power 4 teams, and they've all been in that kind of range, but remember they had a shot that went in and out that would have put them within 5 points here in the fourth quarter.
a bit of a turning point, really, right? Kind of get robbed by by the iron on that one, and then CU makes it count on the other end. Bit of a turning of the game, and Southern in the mix, right? Pretty late in this game, showing a little effort.
Yeah.
Scoreboard not totally reflective of the nuances of their game.
Assistant coach Jeremy Bonin told me before the game, he said, we just need to get these girls a win. They're playing hard, and it's one here where, you know, if they just look at the final margin, that could be deflating, but you got to remember where they were in this fourth quarter. There's a 3 no good, under 1 minute to go. Mentioned that Colorado, with this win, they're going to get their 500th win here at the CU Event Center in 50 years of program history. Now, if you don't stop and think very long about that, you're like, wait, 10 a year, that sounds terrible. But like last year, fantastic home year. They only played 14 home games. They won 11. So 500 wins this their 50th year, 10 wins a year at home. That's getting work done.
Exactly. Pretty solid.
So this
and
will
a good
be,
milestone for CU.
Yeah, this will be that 500th program win in their 50th season at their home arena. 500 here at the CU Event Center as Southern pulls it back. Appreciate the approach of Carlos Funches, not just this moment, but in his 7th season, and a basketball legend himself, a Hall of Famer in the state of Louisiana. Like how he's run his group and his bench today. Good luck to Southern this season. Picked to finish 2nd in the SWAC. Going to take a loss here, down by 20. They'll play in Fort Collins on Tuesday, while the Buffs will host the Utah State. Colorado goes to 4-1, winning 4 of their first 5 games and opening. This is a 7 home game.